I'm a strategic person in terms of what are the possibilities, but also my goal is to always empower people that come to me.
Hmm.
And because we are so often stripped of agency and stripped of our power, it is important when you deal with anyone, whether it's a lawyer, therapist, or whatever, that that person has good boundaries, because you're so used to turning over your agency that you could easily turn over your agency and just want a lawyer who tells you what to do. But someone who's experienced in abuse and trauma will give you information and maybe even some advice and tell you about the risks and the alternatives. Then they will empower you to make decisions and to advise them on what you want to do. So, that's the first step, is to really understand what the options are from the lawyer. And those options can be things like, I want to warn other people.
Hmm.
How do I speak out? So it may not involve filing any kind of lawsuit. So there could be, strategies for publicly speaking out. How do I protect myself? There can be strategies for either filing some kind of lawsuit that could involve money, but it could also involve requests that they make certain changes. So a court can't necessarily force an organization to make certain changes, but once you make a demand of an organization generally through a lawyer, you would send something called a demand letter, and you say, here's a general summary of what has happened and a likely case that we would bring. And here's what we're asking you to do. And that can be settling for a certain amount of money, but it can also say, we want you to do these things so this doesn't happen to anybody else. Or kind of like hold an independent investigation, announce these things, and look for additional victims. Now, the victim can do that as well. Sometimes victims start publicly speaking to try to find if there are other victims of that
Yeah.
abuser out there. So, yes, lawsuits, and that can take on lots of different forms.